doing today. Today is the launch date of the Ryzen 5 5600G and the Ryzen 7 5700G. Today is the launch date. Now, on the East Coast, we won't be able to access it until 12 o'clock afternoon time. So when 12 o'clock hits, that's when we have access to buying the Ryzen 5 5600G and the Ryzen 7 5700G. But let's go ahead on and get into it. New A has them listed for the Ryzen 7 5700G 3.8 gigahertz base for $359.99, which is at MSRP, and the Ryzen 5 6900G, which outboosts the Ryzen 5 3600G by zero point 0.3 gigahertz. The boost on this is 3.9 gigahertz at 259. So New Egg is sticking to the MSRP of the processors. So, but we won't have access to it to afternoon time, Eastern time, because we're on the East Coast. So when 12 o'clock hits, then we'll go ahead and have full access in buying them. But it's good to know that Newegg is sticking to the MSRP of the new APUs. Now, here's the good thing. I do have a price built list ready to go when these sale launches at 12 o'clock, so I'll be getting that video up as well. And also, August 11th, you can also get the RX 6600 XT for new builders wants to build off the APU. This is a good thing. Why I like what AMD doing, because they're giving you options now of building your system using an APU and using a GPU. So this is a good option now with the APUs. Here it's best to go ahead on the performance at 3600 megahertz or higher. Hardware Unbox did a test of all memory running from 32 to 51 megahertz, and he gonna go ahead on and showed everybody of what good performance that you could go ahead on and play your games on APUs. The reason why he chose the highest memory because the highest memory helps the APU give you a good boost performance in playing your latest AAA games as well as your esports games by at least about good 5-10% of boost performance. Now, I know y'all want to see frame per second 125, 150, 200, but if you go ahead on there and buy these APUs with your B550 motherboards and with your 3600, I'm going to go ahead and keep the memory RAM at 4400 megahertz. If you keep it in between that, then you'll go ahead and see good boost performance on both ends of the APU. And if you go ahead on and wait till August 11th and buy your RX 6600 XT to 8 gigabyte, you'll go ahead and see great performance as well too. So this is one reason why I give AMD props, because we are having issues with getting GPUs. The faster they come out, the faster they sell out. So, and if you can't get a GPU, this is your best option here, is getting the Ryzen 7 5700G and the Ryzen 5 5600G. And then if we go ahead and boost it with the RAM of 3600 megahertz to 44 megahertz, then you have great system performance playing off your APUs. Now, Best Buy won't launch them until 12 o'clock, but it's good to notice that you could go ahead on and get the Ryzen 5 5600X, and it's on shelves right now for $1,280. That's a good plus there. So, teaming with your MSI B550 for the APUs as well as the Ryzen 5 5600X, you can't go wrong with that. With your memory RAM of 3600 megahertz to 44 megahertz, whatever brand you desire, from Corsair, G-Skills, Crucial, Kingston, whatever your brand memory you like, please make sure we get buying the APUs and you're building with the APUs that's coming out today. Make sure that your memory RAM is up to 3600 megahertz to 44 megahertz. Now, if you want to take it to 50 or 51, That's up to you. But you're gonna go ahead and keep it at the base. Now, Hardware Unbox did testing because he brought an OEM. I'm gonna go ahead on and put that video link in the description below if I can. I'm gonna try to see if I can do that so y'all can go ahead and see what he's talking about, as well as he did his performance on the 5700G OEM system he had brought, and he tested with multiple RAM from 32 megahertz to 44 megahertz. So yeah, if I can't put that video link in my description below, please go to Hardware Unbox and look for that video in his video files. It's up. It's a great video he put out. It's self-explanatory. That's one reason why I loved him. That's one reason why I subscribed to him, because of the information that he taught me with RAM, buying parts, etc. And go ahead and give y'all the proper information to the viewers as well too. Amazon don't have them out yet, but they do have the HP and Omen 30L with the Ryzen 5 5600G. As you see, it outperforms the i7 110-700K, and this it comes with the RTX 3060 12GB for $17.79 at Amazon. If you want to buy this system, I'll be putting the link, the affiliated link, in the description below, so you can go ahead and click on it and buy your pre-builts. But keep in mind, when you got to buy a pre-built, it only comes with one stick of RAM, so keep that in mind. It's best to be on dual. So here it got 16 gigabytes. So if you want to go ahead and add another 16 gigabyte, which brings the system up to 32 gigabytes of RAM, then please do so you can be on a dual channel instead of a single channel. Alright, I will be monitoring this at 1 p.m. to still see if they still in stock. So I'll be back with the video soon. I'll see y'all a little bit after 1:30 Eastern time. So I'll see y'all soon. Alright everybody, how y'all doing? I am coming back with the continuing of the Ryzen 5 5600G and the Ryzen 7 5700G launch. Let's go ahead and get right into it, because I'm happy, I'm excited that we got new options for gamers as well as non-gamers. Like me, I consider myself more of a beginners gamers, because I play a lot of puzzle games. So the APUs, the Ryzen 5 5600G or the Ryzen 7 5700G, are what I'm looking at for my needs. For gamers, one thing I like that Hardware Unbox went ahead on and brought him a OEM Ryzen 7 5700G, and he had teamed them up with different RAM on the megahertz side, of which megahertz is best suitable for using these APUs. So y'all go check out Hardware Unbox video of him comparing different memory modules at different megahertz speeds to see which megahertz are compatible. I enjoyed watching that video, and I am subscribed to his channel because I learned a whole lot from him, as well as all my other subscribers I am subscribed to. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Yes, the Ryzen 5 5600G and the 5700G are on sale at manufacturer retail price. Now keep this in mind. It comes with the race stealth cooler for both of them, and that's a big plus. So that's a big plus right there. So keep that in mind right there. And Newegg has them up, and you could go ahead and compare these with the B550s, motherboards, and the B400 motherboard series. So just go ahead and keep that in mind. And then Newegg got a good deal on them. So if you want to go ahead and get both CPU and motherboard that they have, you could go ahead on and purchase that from Newegg. Amazon has them thumping. And as I said right there, this box, the Ryzen 5 5600G series, comes with the processor as well as the AMD Ray Thermal solution. So if you don't want to buy a CPU cooler, you could go ahead on and use the CPU cooler provided, or you could go ahead and use your AIO, your custom water cooling, or just go ahead and buy your air cooler of your choice. That's one thing I love the most. And they got the boards that are compatible with it. Now, the AMD Ryzen 5000 series desktop processors and the AMD Ryzen 5G series desktops are compatible with the X470s, B450s, X570, B550, and the A520. Now, the reason why we like using the B500 series because you can just drop the CPU in without doing any BIOS update. But if you go ahead on and buy the X470 and the B450, it just says that a selected beta BIOS update needed for these motherboards. So, and as you know, for the 300 series, it's obsolete. So, if you want to use the AMD 5000 series and AMD 5000G series, you guys will be on the X470, B450 requires a BIOS update. But if you go ahead on and skip those 400 series boards and just go straight to the Big Daddy cakes, I call them beef cakes, which are the B550 boards and the A520 and the X570, those do not need a BIOS update. Just drop them in and take off. And that's what I like. This is why a lot of gamers, streamers, content creators, etc. go ahead and go to the B500 series so they can avoid the BIOS update. Now, if I buy the B500 series, I normally still will update my BIOS. I don't need it, but I just like to make sure that everything is BIOS updated. That's just my preference. So, but other than that, just make sure that when you buy these chips, the 5000 series chipset, whether the 5000G series or the 5000 series, make sure that you go ahead and get the B500 series. If you're a little bit on the budget, you go ahead and get the X470 or the B450, but just keep in mind that you got to update the BIOS. Alrighty, now my own team, Best Buy, they have nothing. Only thing they have available is the Ryzen 5 5600X, which is on the shelf for $280. So if you're still looking for the Ryzen 5 5600X CPU, you good to go. And they have the MSI B550, which this motherboard is just Amazon selling them. Newegg got them into a deal with the Ryzen 5 5600G and the Ryzen 5700G with this motherboard right here. So, if you're still interested in getting the Ryzen 5 5600X and the MSI B550, and you buy those, and then you go ahead and you can wait for August 11th to go ahead and get the RX 6600 XT. Oh, you good to go. You good to go on and popping. So just go ahead and keep that in mind. Best Buy don't sell the 5000G series chipset, but if you're still looking for the 5000X series, then you can go ahead and get the Ryzen 5 5600X from Best Buy. I am happy that we got new APUs out. I'm excited because this gives us more options. If you can't get a discrete graphic controller, whether it's the RTX 3000 series or the RX 6000 series, you got more options. AMD got the RX 6600 XT coming out August 11th. So if you go ahead and get your APU now, your motherboard, and you good to go. Now, some may have certain games they like to play. If you think the APU suits your needs, then go get it. Don't stop building. We got options now, and that's one thing I love about AMD. They giving options. Just like one of my subscribers, Paul Hardware, and I kind of agree with them as well that AMD need to go ahead and give the Vega series a rest now, and just go ahead on and just like I did in one, like I said in one of my videos, is go ahead and put a discrete graphic controller in the new chipset, new line chipset coming out soon. Yes, they got a new line of chipsets coming out next year. I'm going to go ahead and keep that up on the story for you, but that's what AMD needs to do. And I agree with Paul, is go ahead and give the Vega series a rest. go ahead on and put a nice, good, discrete graphic controller inside the CPU, which makes it even better. So if you don't wanna, so basically, if we back into this crisis again where we don't have no GPU on the market, you know that the graphic controller and the APU of your choice has the proper great graphic controller. Whether AMD decided to say, hey, you know what, let's go ahead and jump the Vega Radeon APU, no, our GPU, and just go ahead and put the RX 5700 XT or the RX 6800 inside the CPU. That's one thing I want AMD to start doing. You know, we love the Vega, just like I agree with Paul. Put it to rest, cause it's been around for so long now. You know, it's more budget friendly, more basic, but it's time to go ahead on and start putting discrete graphic controller into the CPUs. Alrighty, I want to thank y'all for watching. I'm glad y'all happy. I'm happy that the new APU lineup is out, cause I'm gonna go ahead on and might be upgrade my system pretty soon to the Ryzen 5 5600G, and I'm happy for that. So thank y'all for watching. Subscribe to my channel for more great videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.